Hello, thank you for tuning in to The Right Hook Show. I'm your host, Cassandra White. We're here at the Community Center of Ceasefire. Don't smoke the brothers or sisters. Sit back, relax, because we got a really great guest for you coming up.
About to show these little how I go. Pay attention, you should stay and learn. Turned up in the club, nigga. You know I came here with baby girl.
A B-A-B-I-E. Everything foreign, we ain't even Chinese. Box hot, stab bread like 9 feet. And I wish you would try to try me. I be there with baby. I be there with baby, yeah. I be there with baby. I be there with baby, yeah. I be there with baby. I be there with baby, yeah. I be there with baby. So you can stop the hate.
She's a boxing promoter, and you know a soldier.
Thank you for tuning back in. We're here with that special guest, and it's Al Malik Farrakhan, my brother. Yes. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to sit down with me. I mean, it's so much that we got to delve in, but we're going to just start with the basics. Where did you grow up at?
Right in Washington, D.C.
So you're a native Washingtonian?
Native Washingtonian.
Wow. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about your backstory, you know, what school you went to and what evolved at some years in your young life.
Mm-hmm. Well, I started out going to St. Augustine, and I got put out in kindergarten.
Wait a minute. Who gets kicked out of kindergarten?
I did.
Please tell me why. Wow.
Some friends of mine, both of them are deceased, and so I won't name their name, but everybody basically in Washington was at their funeral, know who I'm talking about. They threw a brick, and the brick hit the nun in the head.
Oh my God.
And I looked over the roof, and they seen
They
me,
saw you.
right? And you know, I was always taught, you don't never tell on nothing, right?
Snitches
So
get stitches.
That's what they get. So what I did was minded my business and took the punishment, right? And I mean the punishment because I got home, got tore up. Right?
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, you know. And so every school I ever went to, which was H.D. Cook, Harrison, West, John Burroughs, Bundy College, School of No Knowledge. I got put out of every school I ever went to.
Wow. So did you grow up in the Northwest area?
Northwest, but I lived all over the city. Right? We got family all over the city, right? And I did go to Francis. They put me out in the second grade at John Burroughs, but I think I was 14 or 15 in the second grade, right? So they sent me over. You know.
Oh, that's funny. Go ahead with the story.
So they sent me to Francis and wound up getting put out of there.
Oh my God.
You know.
Now let's go a little bit forward in your high school years, and then did you go to college or what?
I went to prison.
So that was the school of hard knocks.
School of hard knocks.
Yes.
As a young kid, but it started off for things that I didn't do. You feel me? And I became an expert at what I started doing. Right? You know, after that, I mean, there's a hell of a thing that, you know, you sitting in a receiving home or Law, Maryland, or whatever, and you got a certain number of years for something that you didn't do, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I was kind of red and bitter at the time, right? So you know, I learned my craft, and I pursued it, right? But then I became conscious, met conscious brothers along the way that taught me about the Honorable Master Elijah Muhammad. So, you know, he's the one that turned my life around.
Well, can I ask you this? So, can you tell us the story? I'm trying to find out in terms of you being paralyzed. How did that come about? When did that happen? Was it before you got into prison or after you got in prison? Can you?
No. I was on escape from Lawton. And I had went all across country, right? as a stand-up comedian, right? Working in a recording studio, had some bands and things, and I was in New York City and heard that the FBI and the bounty hunters was there looking for me. I went to Canada. From Canada, I wound up coming back, and I was throwing them off, and then I eventually wound up out there in L.A., right? And they locked me up out there. 360,000 was taken from the gas company, right, for kidnapping, robbery, kidnapping, ransom. They locked me up for that out there. And at that time, you know, D.C. and California didn't get along, right? And I'm there, I'm one of the few that was there from D.C. And I was carrying it like it was 5 or 6 of us. I'd never been a bad guy, but the bad guys didn't bother me. You feel me? And I had a lot of little skills, and I'm seeing, man, the Crips and the Bloods being shackled and all this behind their back, and the police making them fight one another like that. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yes, yes. So
That's
they
barbaric.
They was beating a brother by the name of Ronald Russian, and he happened to have been a Blood. And I didn't know him. I just see these crackers, racist crackers. They got a badge on, beating his brother. But what killed me is that his homies didn't help him.
Didn't help him.
Right? And I'm saying, damn, y'all beefing with one another, but here these crackers are trying to kill us all, right? And y'all ain't helping your partner. So I couldn't do nothing at that particular time but spit at them, throw stuff at them, different units. We was at HOJJ, the Hall of Justice, when it happened, right? And they put me on the hit list.
Wait a minute, who put you on the hit list?
The Ku Klux Klans that was, you know, we proved that the Ku Klux Klan, Armed Brotherhoods ran the L.A. County Jail. We went to court, right? They put this brother on my cell block unit, and I took a liking to the big young brother, right? But he was a brute, man. He was in there, had 7 murder beefs, and
Jesus Christ.
right, good man though, right? Just lost, and I'm teaching him Islam, right? And it's the time they trying to kill Minister Farrakhan when he went to Libya, right? And I'm telling all the brothers, name yourself Farrakhan.
Yeah.
We're gonna let them know if anything happened to Minister Farrakhan, we're gonna tear this joint down.
Right.
Now, mind you, a lot of us Sunni Muslims were there. And they,
So what's the difference? I'm not.
well, you know, it is, to me, it's really no difference. If you believe in Allah, you believe in Allah, and let Allah judge who ain't right and who ain't right, or what domination or whatever. We got to unify because they plan on killing us. But I'm teaching them, and June the 3rd, '86, I had told the young brother Bill that they was gonna come back and beat him again because he bent over like this and wouldn't fight back when they was beating him the first time. And I told him I had a penal code book. And I showed him in the penal code book, you got a right to defend yourself, man, against what they call under color of law. When the police is abusing you, whatever, to your death if need be. You feel me? You got that right, man. So I used my right, which is part of the Constitution, to go help the brother. But they had me on the hit list too. Excuse me. My cell wouldn't open up. Right? They waited, and I'm in the cell with a Cuban. He don't speak no English. I don't speak no Cuban, but we communicating. And he woke me, but saying that the cell wouldn't open, right? And Flaco, he was out of San Diego. He was Mexican Mafia, young brother. And just prior to Bill, they had put a track on Bill, right? Because Bill would hog the phone right? He never been to the pen. All these things are death defying. You don't do that, right? And he came and said, man, they beating your man, right? Because we got that squash. And sure enough, I said, man, pop myself. And he popped it. And when he ran out there, man, we was kicking that ass. But they kept coming like cockroaches.
You get one down, then you got another.
They just coming. So eventually, they knocked me out. Briefly, I was out for a minute, and Bill grabbed me. He was like Mighty Joe Young. And he grabbed me, and he was rumbling, man. He was knocking them suckers out. And then they separated us by hitting us with flashlight, boots, whatever you could think of, right? Macing us, the whole shot.
Oh, my
and it was the three of us. And, man, it was HOJJ is made in a way that if you come, ain't but one way, right? So you got to maneuver to get up out of there. And man, we was tearing that ass up. But they just kept coming, man. So they got me and they threw me down the steps.
Oh my God.
Broke my arms and legs and all that, right? You know. And they put electric shockers all on my private. And they did everything.
What was that? That's just a form of torture. That's why they did it.
That's what they did, right? You know, and we got documents. This is how we won in court, right? That we got documents of at least over 500. Back then we was called convicts that had been brutally tortured or beaten by the sheriff's department over there, right? And
so the inmates took.
No, not inmate. I ain't never been an inmate.
The prisoners.
Go ahead.
Took that what HOJJ, you said HOJCC?
Yeah,
they took them to court. Is that what you're saying?
No, we took them to court. Right? They beat us, they paralyzed us, and they charged us with every kind of inciting a riot and everything. And then when they seen that we was going to take them to court, they tried to drop the charges. All these was master felonies. They tried to drop the charges, the misdemeanors, and man, we won't press it, this. We said, fuck you, we going to court. We going to prove, we going to let the world know about this cruelty that takes place in here. But that was June the 3rd.
1986?
1986, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And so how long did you stay in prison? That's number one.
Well, all told 21 years, but like I said, I was on escape. I got 9 years out there, right? And so that made
When were you released? What year were you released?
93.
93? Okay.
Yeah, here.
And so after that, you did what? What was your next thing in terms of working?
Well, Minister Farrakhan, right? In 1989, in the final call newspapers and his lectures was, stop the black on black killing, right? And that the government had a contract on young blacks. So I'm doing a life sentence, so I don't know, right, whether I'm coming home or not. But we begin to formulate different little programs, man, centered around that. And Ceasefire happened to have been one of the programs.
So did you come up with that name, Ceasefire, and Don't Smoke the Brothers? Or did Don't Smoke the Brothers come there at the same time you created Ceasefire, or was that later on in life?
No, I'm corresponding with a brother by the name of Elijah Kareem, and I'm telling him about being in the wheelchair, right?
Well, you didn't get to that part. You skipped over it. When did you get into the wheelchair?
That's when I got into the wheelchair, when they paralyzed me, when they beat me, man.
So wait a minute.
They did that on 10
So that's
occasions.
when you became paralyzed there?
Yes.
In jail?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. That when you realized, I guess at some point they transported you to the hospital. Or no?
No, hell no, right? Eventually they did, but hell no. What they did was transfer me from HOJJ to the LA County Jail, right? And, you know, that's like a penitentiary, man.
Yeah, but so when they tell you, or when you know that you're paralyzed, what goes through your mind for something like that? Here you are, this young, vibrant man, and then the next thing you know, you can't walk. What was going through your mind at that time?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, right? For the first 30 days, I felt sorry for myself. And, you know, well, let me put it this way. I had prepared myself for death, right, at an early age, being that my mother and others told me, boy, you keep living that, you ain't gonna make it to 13, right? So I had prepared myself for death, but I had never prepared myself. And I prepared myself to be in the penitentiary, but I had never prepared myself about being in no wheelchair, right? So the first 30 days, man, you know, I felt sorry for myself, but they put me in the unit. I want to say it's 60-40, right? Where they had people with disabilities, can't see, age, whatever. The medical part, right? No legs, one leg, the worst gunshots, I mean the whole shot. And man, these dudes were laughing and joking, right? And I couldn't speak, right? And they snatched me out of my bed one day and threw me on the floor, right? And I'm saying, in my mind, man, these dudes getting ready to rape me or something. But they say, you a hell of a warrior, man. And we're not gonna let your muscle tones go. And they got to working on my legs and, you know, things of that nature. And it's funny because some of them was Aryan Brotherhood, right?
Wow.
Some of them was Mexican Mafia, all of them just tore up from the floor up that was in that unit. And on the 6th time they beat me, they came in the unit to beat me. And them brothers with them wheelchairs and crutches, they stood up for me, Jack.
Wow.
They said, no, you're not going to do it.
Right.
And, you know, they became witnesses in our trial as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got in that wheelchair. But then following, but back to the brother, Elijah Kareem, and I'm telling you, we got a lock and load in here, man, from this wheelchair. These are barbaric beasts in here, man. They going, you know, whoa. And I said, Mr. Farrakhan, this. I said, man, whoa. So he said, ceasefire.
Oh, that's how you came up with ceasefire.
Right? So when I came home, he had T-shirts and everything already waiting on me. You feel me? And we didn't know I was coming home.
Wow.
Right? Show you how faith is. We didn't know, nor did I know that I'd be able to talk again. 7 doctors said I would never talk or walk or anything again.
That's what I want to get to.
I was in a coma. I mean, all this, man.
Yeah.
You know, from the beatings and the whole shot, man. And but that 30 days, man, I felt sorry for myself. But this is, you know, I didn't feel sorry saying that I wouldn't get a chance to play basketball and nothing with my sons or do some things with my kids and nothing. I said, damn, I'll never make love again.
That's
Right?
what you're thinking, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Now, that shouldn't have been the thing.
Right.
The thing should have been the others. But I was never getting life, right? You dig? But after they threw me on that floor, and I'm seeing them, how they getting around, man, irregardless of what their condition was, they still wanted to live. You feel me?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And, you know, then I'm in that coma. While I'm in the coma, I can't talk to you, but I see what you're doing to me.
So you're actually in a coma.
Yeah.
And you see everything going around. Are you hearing what's going around?
I hear everything, see everything. I cannot speak. I can't holler for help. I can't do nothing, right? He told this white nurse, get his thing hard. And she took it barehanded and got to work. I'm serious, man. You laughing at don't even try, baby dog, right? And I'm serious. And she did it. And then the white cracker got mad with her, right? Oh, you a nigga lover. Smacked her.
What?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's
Wait. First of all, let's go back to the nurse. Now, so the other patients,
well, not patient.
the prisoners.
Yeah.
Okay, they were. You guys were. Were you still? Were you in a hospital or you in a prison with all this stuff
I'm
going on?
inside of the what they call
Oh,
the
so they got
prison
that
hospital.
in prison hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
So the prisoners told the nurse to do that to you.
No.
Who told the
The
nurse?
police, racist crackers, because they wanted to destroy my manhood.
Mm-hmm.
She got it hard. The sucker grabbed it with his bare hands, stuck electric shocker, and did that to me on 3 different occasions.
Good God.
You feel me? And
Wow.
I wanted to scream and holler, but I didn't want to give them the satisfaction.
Yeah,
And I willed myself to just pass back out, right? And that the last thing they did is how I wound up in that coma. You feel me? And you know, it was some that seen what happened. There was witnesses for us. It was a white boy, and he was going to be a witness for us. And we was up on the 13th floor. Now normally 13 floors is bad luck,
Yeah.
right? And they got 14 floors, but the 13th floor in HOJJ was open, right? Where they had us locked down in, the cells and the whole shot. And they threw the white boy down the 14th floor elevator shaft. They say, "You're a nigger lover, huh?" And threw him down the shaft and said that he pried the door open, right? You feel me? And killed himself. It was a lie. They killed him because he was going to come and testify for us. Now, I got these documents, right? But if I had known that we would be talking about it, I'd have brought them documents to show you as well.
Well, hey, I believe you. Who can make up a story like that? Oh my
but,
God.
You know, anyway, so
That was that. So when were you able to get out of that wheelchair? What year was that?
well, that was 2002. Right? No, it wasn't 2002. It was 2002. The Minister Farrakhan touched my legs in front of 1,800 people at Union Temple. They had honored
In Southeast.
Yes. They had honored me, Reverend Willie Wilson's church, the great pastor, Reverend my heart, right? They had honored me and several others Men's Day, and they gave me the Frederick Douglass Award, right? And I showed you earlier my wheelchair in the back.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at that
I
too.
had showed you my braces, and they put me out of. It seemed like I always get put out of someplace, but jail. But they put me out of physical therapy because they told me I'd never walk again, and I was so aggressive when I'd come in that wheelchair. I was at DC General, and I'd come in that wheelchair and I grab hold of parallel bars, and I'd be trying to get a hip throw, man. And they say, "Man, you trying to file a lawsuit on us." Right? But they had ordered me these braces. And the braces were only standing braces, not walking. Right? So my blood would circulate through my body. Right? Because the more you sit down, the more likely you can get blood clots and everything else from just sitting there. So they give me the standing brace. And I told my son one day, we over in Baltimore, and I seen the sister that just happened to appeal to me. And she was walking past, and I'm in the wheelchair, and I spoke to her. And she just rolled her nose up and kept walking. Yeah, went in the store. I told my son, "Man, go to the car. Man, get them braces out here and bring the wrench and the pliers too." He said, "Dad, for what?" Right? I said, "Look at it and see." So anyway, he brought it. I said, "We're going to take these a piece, man." And we took them apart, right? Because they, you know, they was connected together, right? And when she came back out, I'm standing, right? So I spoke to her. I spoke to her, "Hey, sweet." And man, she, "Hey." I said, "I don't even want to talk to you." Go on about your business. I'm that same guy that was in that wheelchair that you frying your nose up, right? So yeah, man.
So one day you just miraculously
No, they went. I told my son that I didn't want to accept no other awards in the wheelchair, and I wanted him to go up and get it. He said, "Man, I'm not going up there to get nothing. That's your award, Dad. They want to give it to you." So I said, "Man, what I tell you? To get up and get?" He said, "Man, I ain't doing nothing." So I said, "Okay, well then go to the car and get my braces." By the time he didn't calm down, was gonna go do that, they ain't let nobody out because Minister Farrakhan's on the stage now, right? And they called my name. So Reverend Willie Wilson and then Minister Farrakhan, they started walking towards me. I said, "No, sir." And me and my son had been practicing, right? You know, I'm simulating because I'm determined, right, that something is going to happen.
Right.
And anyway, we got up there. And when I got up there, I fell back in the chair, but I used my upper body strength. I was strong as an ox. I could pick you straight up, sister, I'm telling you. And with a couple tables, I was in tip-top shape, right? So even though I was crushed up, and
He said crushed up.
yeah, right. And they, you know, and the Minister Farrakhan put his arm around me, touched my shoulder, and he said a prayer in Arabic. I said, "Sir, I don't know that prayer." He said, "I merely asked Allah to bless Malik with the use of his legs again because he, Minister Farrakhan, was going to need that wheelchair." Right? Now listen to this. So I'm doing everything I can now with I played everything. Basketball from the football, boxing a little. I did everything in that wheelchair. Danced in the wheelchair. I did everything, right? But those were my extended legs, right? Now, I got the braces, and I become a little bit more, you know, I'm saying they lied to me, right? Now I'm beginning to feel, right? I couldn't get erection. Now I'm beginning to get erection. I'm serious. I'm just telling you what these crackers did. Man.
Okay.
Right? And I'm beginning to feel after he touched my arms and legs. So 3.5 years later, I'm home. And Minister Gadir, who is the regional minister for the Nation of Islam, East Coast regional minister, he called me from Chicago. He said, "Al Malik." I said, "Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum." He said, "Why Islam?" He said, "Are you sitting or standing?" I lied to him. Because normally when somebody asks you that question,
And some bad
news, right? He said, "Minister Farrakhan is in the wheelchair." Man, I fell straight back. My head hit the back of the couch. The phone dropped. Tears got to rolling. I mean, I cried like a baby, man. Right? And I get to Mr. Farrakhan. I speak to him briefly. And he said, "Brother, I'm all right." He said, "I'm going to go on a 72-country tour in this wheelchair. And you taught me how to do it." Wait, hold on. He in the wheelchair. What was the prayer he said? "I merely asked Allah to bless Malik with the use of his legs again because he was going to need the wheelchair."
Wow.
You hear me? And when he came back here for the leadership conference, I think it was for the Million More Movement, and he was over in the office at Union Temple, and we spotted one another. And he said, brother, I'm all right. He got a little teary-eyed, and mine was just flat, right? And Ty was with me, you know, when we was over there, right? And man, people don't want to listen to this man. He giving us the gospel. First, it was his leader and teacher that taught him. The Honorable Master Elijah Muhammad. Like I told you, we're in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's, this room here. That's with his name, the Honorable Master Elijah Muhammad's room. And those pictures depict all his disciples that he taught that's on this wall back here, right? And it was him that gave me instructions. Didn't verbally give me instructions, but gave the instructions, stop the black on black killing, right? I think if I had continued to be who I used to be, I might have still have been the problem.
Right.
Right? Because we started the gunplay right here, right out here, right down here at Upshur Playground, right back in the 60s, the whole shot. So this is why I always apologize to the peewees, the youth. Man, we the ones that put you in this bad situation that you're in. So accept my apology and let me help you the best I can, you know?
Yeah,
doing what I do.
so you're out of the wheelchair. So then you start this movement within...
No, I started the movement when I came home.
You still in the movement while you were in the wheelchair.
I started, look, it was Brother Anthony Muhammad, right? He's the ANC over in Ward 8. He was the student minister over at the DC jail. And we got close. And I told him, I said, man, they denied me parole, right? But they're gonna send me to a halfway house. I said, man, would you pick me up? He drove a cab and he cut hair. And I said, I want you to take me to every hot spot in this city before you take me any place. I didn't say, take me to go get some sex. I didn't say, take me to go get
some
no
food.
money, no food, no nothing. Take me to every hot spot in this city. And that's what he did. He was
You wanted to do that for what? What was
to
this
start
purpose?
ceasefire, right? To grab some of these brothers. See, I'm nobody's leader. People have a tendency to say, this person, I'm just an empty vessel, man. You know, trying to pick up my people and take them to safety. You know, and behind the fact that people know me from, they know my sincerity. They know I ain't faking. They know this wasn't about no money because I put my own money in to help start ceasefire, right?
And you got this building, this community center when? When did you get
1995.
95. And it was you said you had it set up like a gym and beginning a boxing gym?
The boxing gym was back there in the back where the
pool table? No, the wheelchair, where the wheelchair is.
Where that's the computer lab back
the
there.
computer lab, yeah.
Yeah, but that was our boxing gym back then. We had all our little equipment and they had hooked us up, right? I didn't want Park and Rec to have nothing to do with what we do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right, so there was a lot of good brothers that was trainers, and you know, they should have been a part of this, but I wouldn't let them be, because I wanted to stay grassroots. Didn't want to have nothing to do with government like that, and even though it was Myron Barrett that got this building for us, but he told us to look for a building. We looked in Southeast, we went everywhere. 18th Street, and then it was, this used to be way back in the 60s. You couldn't go in none of these buildings. They would call us the N-word, everything, right? And all these crackers on it, racist crackers. Listen what I'm saying, folks. Racist crackers, right? You understand? So we went and looked everywhere, and a brother by the name of Bink, Mr. Plummer, his father was a reverend, and he heard we was looking for a place, and he said he'd sell us the building for $1.25. right? And we hurried up and told Myron. And then we wound up having to go through PIC because we were waiting on our 501c3 to come through. And then PIC turned it over to us, and everything else was history.
And you spoke about Marion Barry. You guys also collaborated on I believe it was a 6-month moratorium for gang violence and gang killings.
What we did, Marion was going out of office, right? But prior to that, 1995, right? He allowed me to bring 50 different gang members to his office, right? 5 different gangs to declare a ceasefire. There's never been broke to the date.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And these brothers used to get it up. You feel me? And Myron believed in the vision that I had and tried to get us, but at the same time, he couldn't do too much for us. Right?
Right.
Behind the fact that they had put the control board in place and they had stripped
Anthony
him of
Williams.
all his duty and all except for park and libraries. That's the only thing they left him with. But he went out of his way to get us help, right?
Yeah.
And so.
What do you see in today's society in terms of the young people with the killing, black on black killing, quite frankly?
Well, see, listen, wait a minute. On this wall, but you can't see it right here.
We'll look at it once we
right?
finish.
I have the Willie Lynch syndrome. And the Willie Lynch syndrome, right, used subliminal subduction. He used to tell the slave masters, why are you wasting, burning and beating your slaves half to death? You lose in economics, right? You got to follow my kit. And if you follow my kit, you can control your slaves from 300 to 1,000 years. And some of the methods that he used was called divide and conquer, right? Play the light against the dark against the light, the woman against the man against the woman, the educated against the uneducated, the child against the mother and the father, right? And we're in that state where we're living at. These young brothers, even though they're doing some heinous acts right now, right, they don't understand that they're not really barbaric killers. They're really warriors, right? And they're doing it at the age that the United States of America take and grab you and take you into the service. 17, 16, 18 years old, right? Where you don't care about living or you don't care about dying. These young folks are going to be the same ones that's going to get us reparations and everything else, right? And we just can't look down at them and point your finger and say they ain't nothing, because they're everything, right? And each generation is born greater than the generation before it. But our babies, behind the fact they come from the crack epidemic at the time, and most of them had to raise themselves.
Yeah.
You feel me? Now they talking about all the sisters getting killed, et cetera, and et cetera. I got to speak the truth. They got sisters out there pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
They got sisters out there knocking suckers out. Bam, bam. I mean, they got sisters out there telling the men like they a little bit of nothing. Calling them all kind of, you little punk, you little faggot, and what have you, right? But most of us was born and raised by a woman.
Yeah.
Most of us didn't have a father in the home. And most mothers were so protective that they made their sons more submissive to the system, because knowing what they did to us back in slavery, but made their women, their sisters, stronger physically, right? Us weak mentally as well as physically, right? But it's another part of a plan, a racist white man's plan to get the black man and black woman up off this land over what they're doing, right? So I love these young brothers. like I said, I used to be part of the problem.
Right.
I used to fire that thing.
Now, before we go and look at the facility in itself with the pictures that you have here, I want to talk about something else that you were involved in. I think it was something with the Disabilities Act.
Yeah, I made it possible for men and women that came home that was in a wheelchair. They had to go to and use public transportation. I made it a little bit better for them. There was in halfway houses.
Right.
But this is something. This here. This is called Fight for Fighters. Right? Citywide celebration. And this goes back to Myron Barrett. When we did Myron Barrett's in '86, right? We declared a 6 months moratorium, right? When we did this, we had 5 world champions at the time. I'm laying in my bed.
And Joppy is on here.
Yeah, Joppy, Mark, Sean
Bay Mitchell, yeah.
right?
And
Israel, right?
Oh, yeah.
She just came from Atlanta. Keith Holmes, right? And I'm laying in my bed, and before my woman had died, and she said, "Baby, you ain't slept in a couple of days." This 1999. And if everybody remember what happened back in 1999, they were saying the world going in.
Oh, yeah, the computer crash.
The computers crash and everything else. And I
Millennium.
said, damn. I said, man, we got 5 world champions. And we ain't never in this town had a parade.
Yeah, celebrate those guys.
We never had a motorcade for them. No, nothing. So I called Rock Newman. I love that man. 3 o'clock in the morning. Rock got on the phone. I'm gonna lick you all right? Because he done rode with us a couple times against my wishes, but he's strong-willed about squashing some of these beefs.
Right.
He wanted to see for himself. He wanted to take and put his money behind us that we ain't faking.
Right.
That we serious, right? So I said, Rock, new millennium coming in. They say computers gonna crash the whole shot. We got 5 world champions. They gonna get rolled out of history. I said, I got a thought and an idea. He said, Al Malik, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, man, call me back at 8 o'clock. 7:30. Rock called me. He said, man, I couldn't go back to sleep. He said, I thought about it. He said, can we make? I said, Rock, we can make it happen. I said, I'll do all the logistics. We want to hit every hot spot in the city where all the killings taking place with the motorcade, right? And then we're going to do the parade from Alabama Avenue and take that all the way down to Good Hope Road, right? Look, Ty was with me. Larry was with me. Sam Jordan, he ran emergency preparedness. And we had to go in front of the police and to get permission to not stop at no lights. Man, we go in the joint and the police got talking crazy. The racist redneck. But Sam that already told me it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Don't worry about nothing. I got it. Man, I flipped out of there. I said, you motherfuckers better lock us up right now, because we ain't stopping. There's no light, right? They kicking me. I can't feel nothing. I'm still in a wheelchair. They kicking me all in my legs. So they took a break. They took me, Sam said, I told you I got it. Ty told me, just calm down, man. He said he got it, right? Yeah, so we go back in there. They changed their whole story. Okay, whoa. Now, we don't want to be charged no fees. We doing a community service.
Right.
Right? And then, man, we did it. And the young girl, I think she went to Phelps or Eastern, one of them, they got killed at the bus stop. And we had the largest motorcade. No president, no mayor, has ever had a motorcade as large as the one we had.
Wow.
When we got down, we started up here at Georgia and Madison. We came here first, right? Every limousine that you could think of, every old vintage car. Just imagine this. Rock Newman in the lead car with the legendary Jim Brown.
What?
You hear me? We flew in Bob Foster, right? We flew in Johnny Gant.
Oh, Johnny Gant, the great Johnny Gant.
Look,
yeah.
man, look. We hit them all, right? And the route that we had, they closed all 395.
Wow.
The only time I ever seen that closed off when they was escorting a president or they was transporting a prison. And I know because they transported me down that same damn street, right? But they didn't cut it off.
No, we're gonna cut it short here because we got so much more. We'll be right back on the Right Hook Show with Farrakhan.
So, yeah, whenever you're ready,
Okay, and we're back with Al Malik Farrakhan. Now, Malik, I noticed that each wall has a meaning, a purpose. Can you just explain this wall right here for us?
Yeah, but this wall here, as I stated earlier, this is called the Honorable Master Elijah Muhammad's room. This is the Lamb. This is the man that every picture you see up here, he done breathed into them all, except for the Honorable Noble Drew Ali. But they were close as well. But from H. Rap Brown and Stokely, well, that's H. Rap Brown, Stokely Carmichael, Merrin Burr, all of them, right? This man right here, you feel me? Yeah. And then there's pictures of us in the mosque or doing different events in here. This is me and Minister Farrakhan. This is me when I got married in the Nation of Islam back in '68.
What? That's you?
Yeah. Y'all see that crescent right there?
Yeah, we see it right there.
Yeah, you feel me? And this brothers that was out of Lawton that was in the FOI, right? I got this in Chicago for Savior's Day when I went up there. It's the Honorable Master Elijah Muhammad. There's a log to the right, Minister Farrakhan, some black folks with chains around their brain. And the Honorable Master Elijah Muhammad is passing the key to them to free the brain. And this here is when I ran for city council at large, right? And
I noticed you have the prisoners.
Prison outfit on,
right?
yeah. Minister Kadir, minister, he was the one that came up with that idea because I pushed so hard for our rights, convicts' rights or ex-prisoners' rights, right? Or some people call it self-returning citizen.
He said, want to be free, vote for me.
It says, Al Malik Farrakhan for City Council at large, reward 100,000 votes needed. If you want to be free, vote for me. Democratic primary, September 10th, 2002. The same year Minister Farrakhan touched my legs.
Wow.
Yes.
And this wall?
This wall here is the prison wall, right? Some of these brothers on this wall died in prison. Some ain't coming home.
Now, are those real uniforms or those are uniforms that were you just put on right there with the stripes things, right?
Yeah, well, no, that was costume.
Okay.
Right? You feel me? Now, this is me, right? This is me in the wheelchair. And this is me in the wheelchair. The brothers working me out, right? This is me and one of the legends, well, two of the legends in the city, Mr. William DeLoach, Horse, Dad, he's no longer here, and Studebaker, right? But these brothers is all over. This is my nephew. My brother just came home after doing 30 years. 50 years.
50 years.
And he died 4 months later.
Jesus.
Right. Some of these other brothers, this is the Office of Resident Concerns down at Lawton Prison, But you got them on here from San Quentin, Vacaville, state joints, and federal joints.
Well, this is what you had. We were talking about earlier, Willie Lynch.
Yes.
What he had to say.
Yes.
1961.
Right.
Yeah. And so we go over to this wall here. That's when you were using your crutches right here. I just see one. It was like you were just.
Well,
transforming from
no, it was two.
wheelchair.
It was two. See, you
Oh,
go the
okay,
other
on
one
the
right
other side,
there.
okay.
Right. But I got a head. That's my brother right there.
Mm-hmm.
That my brother, the one that did the 50 years, went to free him. That was historic in nature. The only other time that happened was out in California when Jonathan Jackson went to free his brother, George Jackson, who started the Black Guerrilla family, etc. Right? Now, this here,
Wall is.
this is ceasefire's history, but this is
Ceasefire,
going
okay.
this is going backwards. Can we go
Sure.
that way and come back this way?
Sure. So you want to go all the way? To
Yes,
the end?
yes. You see, when you come through this door, you see
Mary-
the man, the
Mayor for
honorable mayor for life, Myron Barrett, because we got this building because of him, even though he couldn't do much more financially for us. Man, he gave us some of the greatest opportunities on the planet, being one that had an X behind our back, right? But this is my work, right? I used to paint and all that. This is called Allah God, the only reality. And on here, Myron Barrett was on. I made this in the penitentiary.
You got
They never,
Black inventors.
they never seen it. I got all that on there, right? They never seen it, you know. You dig? And this is when
A proclamation.
when Myron died, right? And we made sure that December the 1st, right, is Myron Barrett's Day, coming from ex-prisoners. Once again, my brainstorm, me laying in the bed, right? And the Myron, he was supposed to speak at our last ex-prisoner family benefit that we did. He was the keynote speaker. And they said at the same time that his name was called was the same time that he had passed, right? Miles Rawls over at Bird Farm was a master ceremony, the whole shot. So, and everything that I do basically is done with Universal Madness
Yes.
as my partners, right? Now,
Let's go up.
here, helping Vincent Orange get in office, right? Most of these shots are my own personal shots, you know? But this is when we did our first march, right? There's another article that came out.
Say, cease the fire.
Yes, right? But these were all gang members, right? We didn't march with people from the community. We marched with the ones that was having the problems. We marched with the ones that said, man, why the fuck are we beefing with one another? Right? About what? Damn, Malik, you making sense to us. Yeah, we're gonna roll with you. So we did 4 different marches all over the city, but Myron got mad with me. He said, man, you ain't getting the press that you should get us. Myron ain't about the press, right? It's just about saving lives. He said, next time, I'm marching with you. God damn it, he did it too, right? So everything on this side of this wall is all ceasefire's history. All ceasefire's
So
history.
you got Rock Newman.
I got them all on there. Look at all the boxes, all the champs up here.
Oh yeah.
Huh? Got Calvin Woodland there. We gave a senior, we honored him. I mean the whole shot, right? Myron and this was the hell of a city administrator, Robert Bob, and right, one of the twins, Miss Barbara, right? And this is when the Black Panthers did this down at press conference, right? About attacking Muslims. Man, we tore it up.
And then hands off Farrakhan.
Yes, ma'am. When they was talking about bringing Farrakhan up Congress, he better come with, hey, I was proud that they let me a role in front of the delegation to show my love and my honor for my leader and my teacher, right?
Yeah.
And
this is Ceasefire, Don't Smoke the Brothers. This is what was going on right here, this article.
Well, this article here, right, is Drumbeat magazine, one of the most prolific, and I hope I'm saying the right word, black newspapers that it was, right? The Drumbeat, and you know, so they interviewed me to make this paper and be on the front of it.
Right.
I mean, look at the people I'm on here with, man,
right,
damn.
right.
But we started from the Million Man March, Adopt the Prisoner for Life Project, Ceasefire has, right? You feel me? So
the Adopt the Prisoner, so what were you referring to? So what was the concept for that?
well, the concept was brothers and sisters that was locked up, right? To reach out to them in the penitentiary, send them books and things of that nature, stamps and things, right? When we was getting paid, it was mandatory that we put up $50 a week from out of our checks and send it into prison of 5 different individuals that was doing life sentences, right? Unheard of, you know, and we still do it today even though we don't get paid.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So is the project still going?
Well, the project ain't never gonna die.
Okay.
Shit, whether we got money or not, we gonna make sure keep pumping.
I see you got the picture with the Honorable Mayor
Oh, Bowser,
Bowser.
that's my baby. I mean, I love this woman. We fight and argue like man and woman, like we was married or something. But that's my heart, man. There's no question about it. But this young brother here, Genghis, man, that's you know, when the police was trying to kill him, it was the Honorable Myron Barry and myself that got the police up off that brother's back, right? You feel me? And you know, you see us, right? Now we can be, I don't want to use the word I was going to use, the head like a pig in it, but we can get down with the dressing if we got to. You understand?
Let's go. This is another proclamation here. Tell us
Oh,
about
this one here, the first one we got from the Honorable Myron Barr. It's called Increase the Peace, Stopping the Violence, right? And this was back in 1998. Ken Moore, right, had the Icebox, and he had more go-go bands, right, that was with him. And we would kick it with the go-go bands, the whole shot. And then today, go-go is #1 on the music list. But you don't hear Ceasefire's name mentioned nowhere in it, right? But the brother who got it, Ronald Moulton, right?
Oh, yeah, in Southeast.
You feel me? You'll see he was one of my proteges, right? And got that from here, Ceasefire. And here he is right here, standing right here with Winnie Mandela, right? Nelson Mandela's tapped, and that's me again in wheelchair. Now, these are all the boxes here.
In the wheelchair again. I mean, I just want people just to take notice that this man was in a wheelchair,
right?
And now he's standing in
wheelchair. Now this is one of my sons, blood son. Never knew I had him. Met him in prison, out in California. But I'm in the wheelchair there as well. 16 and a half years, right? And sometimes I feel like I need to go back to that chair, for my legs be, and it be still, giving me problem, right? We were the first ones that brought the black and brown together in this city. This is Louis Cadona right here, right? And that was Barrios Uniquez, right? So we stopped a lot of beefing among the black and the brown. Also, right, we brought the Koreans, right? We were the first ones, along with the Black Panthers, that did Buy Black on Friday and closed a lot of Korean shops down because they didn't know how to respect and talk to black folks, right? But I met this man right up here, the Korean Korean American Association, Mr. Parks, and he told us, man, let me explain to you about our culture. And once he explained to me, see, Koreans, they family orientated. They're not community orientated, right? So he said, but we're changing that because we're here in America, right? So he honored ceasefire. He trained 24 of our youth for 2 years of martial arts for free.
Wow.
Right? You know. And you got Petey Green up top, right? I mean, you name them.
You had them on here.
They on here.
Okay, we're gonna go over here because there's so much.
Okay.
You got so much.
Now this wall over here. This is the wall that caused a lot of pain to black man and black woman. That picture up at top, right? You see
Native
those
American? Mm-hmm.
Native Americans, right? So when the Pilgrims got here, what did they do? They killed them off, right? They gave them a smallpox and all that through the blankets and etc. They took this part of the country, right? And then, you know, they enslaved us and brought us here as slaves. So we got they got them on slave boats coming, right? Sosonia Truth, right? Harriet Tubman, right? The stagecoach, the first black female, Murray Fields, right? Then down there is hangings, right?
Yeah.
And right here, this is what a black woman was scared that them racist crackers would do to us. They would cut off our fingers, toes, feet, penis, whatever. They even cut the woman vagina off and stuck it in the jar. This is my grandmother. That's one of my mothers, and all this right here, right? So when the young folks come in here, before they can play ping pong, shoot pool, do any of that, go in the basement, none of that, they have to do 3 essays on 3 different pictures.
Wow.
Right? Then they got to get their homework done, right? And then they get a chance to stroke the pool balls, whatever. Now, we stayed open 24 hours a day.
Wow.
Wasn't no closing up, right? I mean, the killing don't stop at 5 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
You feel me? So now, there's Chris Bird, which also Mern's son, but was a member of ceasefire as well, right? This is Robert Robb, right? This is Johnny Long. These were directors of ceasefire that's no longer here with us, right? This is my brother, the one that did 50 years. These, yes, yeah, Levance, Green Bay, right? And these are some of the young brothers that he was tutoring while he was inside of prison, right? Then you can see where they was burning us to the stake and what have you. You know, this is so important. See, if you don't know who you are, right, you don't know your history, then you're going to continue, right, when you see another black man or a woman that look like you, right, and they with nothing to do, no money, but yet all the drugs in your neighborhood and all the guns and knives, right, or the bone crushers or shanks as we call them, right, then the first thing we come up with is I'm going to go kill me an N. Y'all know what the N word is, right? Now this here, I kind of separated it before Marcus Garvey and to show the youngins. This is what the racist crackers did to us. Now this is what we're doing to ourselves. This is a young brother, 14 years old, 49 times, 1995, over in Bird Farm, right? You know, so when they do their essay, they get to learn about the people that's on this wall and what they contributed, right? I believe, this is my belief, that if we honor those that became ancestors, right, that they never physically die. I mean, they physically gone, but spiritually they live.
Yeah.
So we got the wall, right? And as you see, all behind here, men and women, right? Then we got them all right here, right? That we haven't got a chance yet to put up. Then we got them all right here, right? And all here, right? Now,
We got Chuck Brown here.
yeah, my man. We got a chance to honor Chuck Brown. We gave him the Key to the Hood award. 5 people got that, right?
Wow.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I lived in this era here when they was doing this water hose and sicking the dogs and all that. You feel me? So the youngins, they still got the same thing confronting them today, but they call them jump outs.
This other room. This is the computer
Okay.
room, but we also want to see the wheelchair. You said your students knelt down. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Here's some more right here. Yeah, this computer lab right here, right? We had mold in here, so now we got to get some more computers,
Yeah,
right?
gotta get some more computers.
You feel me? But this is my baby here, right? The young folks say, sir, we gonna nail this down because we don't never ever want you to forget where you came from. Now these weigh like 3 pounds apiece. These were my braces. These are the ones, yeah. Right? And remember, now look at the wait a minute. See, they made into the shoes.
The shoes are made into the.
Yes, the shoes are made into them.
Wow.
Right? But as you can see, right, this back here is a belt that went around it, right? You feel me? And it was locked in, right? You feel me? No, that just went around my legs there, right? You feel me? But these were not walking braces. They're standing braces.
You made these. These are the ones.
No, these are the ones. No, these are the ones they ordered for me, and they put me out of DC General because I took them apart. Right? They said I was trying to get a lawsuit. You feel me? All I wanted to do, goddamn it, was walk. Right? You know. So, but this is my sports wheelchair. This is the one that I played basketball in. I played professional tennis in it. I mean, all this.
And you boxed in it.
Hey, come on, man. I ain't had no other choice.
I mean, this is, I don't know what to say, but I am just so happy that we took the opportunity, was able to talk to you. It's just been going down memory lane, going down history lane, whatever you want to call it. But this man is a wealth of knowledge, and he's out here helping the community. And we just want to thank you. See, he's so attached to this wheelchair, he can't even leave it alone.
No, I want to make sure. Might have to put it back on. Ain't no telling. You know?
So we want to thank you, Malik, so much for taking the time out for us today.
It's our pleasure.
And
Right.
we'll see you again on the Right Hook Show.
Never.
Thank you for tuning in back in with us. We're here with another special guest, Ty Johnson. Mr. Johnson, thank you for just coming by and talking to us today.
It's my pleasure.
And I didn't know that you were a part of the Ceasefire organization.
You did?
No, I did not know. Just like I didn't know about the Magnus Connection. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about everything. But we want to talk. So where did you grow up?
Right here in D.C.
Really? What?
Born and raised.
In Northwest? Or?
Northwest.
Really?
Went to Cardozo High School.
And so what path? Did you go to college or what?
No,
was-
I didn't do no college.
Okay, so what was just working as what?
I was, when I come out of high school, I went in service.
Okay, which branch?
The National Guard.
Oh, really?
'Cause
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to go to the regular Vietnam War was going on at the time.
Oh, I can get it. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I ain't met a con that done anything to me. So
Yeah, but you also are a boxing promoter. So when did you do your first show? When was your first show?
my first boxing show was in '88.
88. So how did you? Were you a boxer?
No, I mean amateur. I did a little bit, very
Okay.
little, but not much.
So when did you decide to say, hey, I just want to promote boxing
See
shows?
what it was? Some friends of mine, they had a monumental production.
Yeah, I heard of that. Yes.
They were doing boxing, and I was always in the background with them. But then they got in a little trouble, so I said, I'm not gonna let it die. I'm gonna step on up to the forefront.
Who do you remember your very first boxer that you had on your show?
Oh no,
Or was it amateur or was it pro?
all pros.
All pros?
All
Okay.
pros, never amateurs.
Do you remember the first pro?
I really don't.
But when was your last boxing event?
My last event was at the Washington Convention Center. I had Al Johnson, Alexander Johnson.
Oh yeah.
I had him main event, and I had
I think
Tank. I had Tank on that show.
you know what? I think I went to that at the convention center. I remember that show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
yeah.
had Tank on that show. Tank fought here in
I thought
DC.
you had Sugar Poo too.
That was later. That was
Okay.
before that.
That was before. Okay.
Yeah. No, that was after that. I didn't promote that show
Oh, okay.
with Sugar Poo
Okay.
when he knocked Sugar Poo out.
Yeah. We're not gonna talk about that, but
When Sugar Poo sold all of that. But me and Sugar Poo cool.
Okay,
We
yeah.
really tight.
okay.
But he stepped up. He talked too much.
Yeah, he
trash
does.
that
He
day.
always, he's like a little Muhammad Ali.
You know, he gave Al all the energy he needed because he went so hard on Darrell Tyson that day, and Darrell Tyson was Al's manager, trainer. And he went hard on Darrell, and Pooh said, "Darrell, don't worry about it. We're gonna handle that in the ring."
Okay, good. And and that's your man, Darrell Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Another one of our other champions here in DC, boxing champions in DC.
Yeah.
So, so you decided, okay, I want to put a boxing off for a minute. But then you designed, or was that before this Madness Connection, this
Madness
urban
Connection was the first.
the first,
I
and
did-
then it went
I started
into boxing.
Madness in 1978.
So how did you get into that? What just came over you to say, hey, I want to just design these?
Yeah,
and how did
well-
that whole process work?
Myself, Eddie Van, and Scotty Irvin, we sitting around. Because I never wanted to work. I always wanted to be a boss. I always wanted my own. So we sitting around and we just Scotty came up with a design. And we took the design and we go to go to go. We might hit, if it's 5 go-go's, we was at each one of them that night selling shirts.
So y'all was just pretty much selling out
Out
the back
trunk
of
of
the
the
trunk of the car, right?
Trunk of the car until we got so large, and we said, man, we need a storefront
Wow.
because this is too much for us.
I think Malik said it best. I think Malik told me that you were before the P Diddy's and everybody else with these urban
That's
clothing.
right, yeah.
You guys started
Number
this whole
one.
trend.
First urban gear in the country. Very first.
So is it safe to say that
P
you?
Diddy was in Howard University when we started.
So is it safe to say not only that people here in Washington D.C. I remember saying that earlier today, that when you go to Southeast, Northwest, wherever you went, you saw somebody with that Madness Connection on.
Because we didn't care. A lot of them wouldn't go cross different boundaries. I would go anywhere and sell it. Anywhere. I wasn't afraid to go to Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, and of course Northwest. I'm from Northwest.
Right,
But
right.
I went all over. We went all over.
And so was it just only in D.C., Maryland area, or did you guys branch out to
Well,
other
we
cities?
did branch out. We had a store in Los Angeles.
What?
Yeah, we had a store in Los Angeles. A guy named Flint ran that store. And we had one in Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys were y'all were out there. I just thought it was just that one location Northeast Georgia Avenue.
Georgia Avenue.
Yeah, I remember going to see.
Oh, when we was on Georgia Avenue, we also had a store in Southeast.
Where
on
was that?
Alabama Avenue.
By the Big Chair, or was it?
By the with Giant in that little
Oh
shopping
yeah,
center.
yeah.
Yeah, we was up in there.
Oh, okay. Wow. And so you guys had this store, and was it something that was immediately responded to well, or how did you
Oh.
do?
The first day we opened up,
It was a line.
the lines, we doing better than Gucci and all of them. Speaking of Gucci, we used to have to we sold Gucci tennis shoes in our store.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we would go to New York, Atlantic City, buy up all the Gucci tennis shoes, come back, sell them. In our store, we sell them $50 more. than
Wow.
They would get.
I bet you had a lot of females. They were like, "Baby, I'll be your girlfriend."
Yeah, no, I didn't want them. I didn't want no. I wasn't. No, y'all. I wasn't doing that. I didn't have no girlfriend.
No, I'm not putting him on the spot. No. So after that, with the clothing store doing very well, what was next up for Ty? What did
After
Ty
the
do?
closing came, the boxing. Mm-hmm. And like I say, I started boxing in 88, 89, and up until 95, when I got in trouble, I went away.
You went to college too.
No, yeah. Same college Malik went to.
I told you, College of Hard Knocks. I mean, that's what
I
college.
went to college, but I was only gone like 5 years.
He said only.
Only 5 years. Yeah, that's
So let me ask you that. What's that? How's that like after being on the street for so long, and then you have to go away like that? For those many. Although it was 5 years, but 5 years is 5 years.
5 years.
So how's that?
At 40, I didn't go away young.
Yeah.
I went away an old man.
So what was it like? I mean, to be in there and being locked down and all that.
It wasn't
What's the
bad.
mindset like?
I mean, my mindset was to help whoever I can when I got in there. I wasn't going in there and trying to be
no tough guy.
tough guy.
Yeah.
They knew who I was when I came. When I walked through the door, they knew who I was. I
That's
got
amazing.
the respect that I needed.
But how does that happen, though? How does that happen that you people know who you are? Is it because people are from the same neighborhoods? I mean, how does that?
No. They're not from, these people from other cities all over the country.
So is that the police
They-
officers tell them or something? Or how does that?
Well, people from D.C., they knew I was coming before I got there. So when I got there, they laid it out. I had a big party coming in.
Wow.
I had a big party coming in, and they put me on a basketball team. They told them I was 6'5".
So what college of Hard Knocks did you go to? Were you here locally or?
Cumberland.
Where's Cumberland, Maryland?
Cumberland,
Okay.
Maryland.
All right, so that's not really a big prison. That's like a jail, right?
It's a prison.
It is a prison.
It's penitentiary. It's a SCI and a camp.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a jail.
What is it like? More like federal prison?
Federal prison.
Yeah.
That's what
Wow.
it was, a federal case.
Oh, okay. My father went away. He was a judge, and then he was a council member in Buffalo, New York.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he went to the federal prison for tax evasion or something.
Yeah.
He was running for mayor in Buffalo, New York, and so
Yeah.
they didn't want a black man in Buffalo running for mayor.
No, they wouldn't have it in Buffalo.
Yeah. So after that, did you start? You said you were helping those young people in jail, but did you start with the ceasefire when you got out of prison, or were you already a part of ceasefire?
I was basically with ceasefire before I left. And when I came home, I left in 95, came home in 99. That's when I really joined in, and I became the COO, chief
Oh, okay. Wow.
of ceasefire, and they couldn't do anything without me. Don't let Malik, don't let him fool you.
We're going to bring Malik up here right now, because Malik, come on up here. Now, these two guys make it happen here at Ceasefire. Y'all remember we just did the interview with Malik. Malik doesn't have his mic on, but we're just going to make sure we get this team together because that's what I want people to see because they're doing great work here at Ceasefire. Don't Smoke the Brothers and Sisters. And I think you guys need to be commended. I want to thank you for everything that you have been doing in our communities.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for introducing people to that Universal Madness Connection because this is the.
If it wasn't for Madness Connection, you wouldn't have all these other urban clothing lines. We were the first in the country.
Wow, and that's why I'm so glad that I'm able to get you.
We opened up for a lot of jobs.
You hear that? Y'all hear that?
A lot of jobs.
You get everything.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you guys because you guys have been great. It's just amazing about the knowledge you guys have been putting out there in terms of just the things that you've been through, both of you. So thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Right Hook Show. Bye.
Bye.